Hello guys, okay, welcome to week one of the Kettlebell program, okay, 0 to hero as I like to call it. So this is going to be the first of a series of videos throughout the 6 weeks, basically focusing on the kind of required movements for that week, or the kind of topic of the week we'll call it, okay. So today, if you've done your workout today or not, the main movements today are the swing and really the push-up. So the other two I'm really going to focus on. Yes, you have videos in the workout and on your True Coach app, but I just want to really break them down in these videos. I'm not going to be here for hours, so don't worry. I'm going to make them as brief and as to the point as I can. I'll do them in 2 separate videos, just so they're kind of easy to kind of get a hold of. First one I'm going to do here is going to be on the swing, okay? I'm going to break it down just into its setup, where the power needs to come from, and your top position, because they're really the 3 things that people do forget about when it comes to the swing, okay? Is the setup, the fact that you need to use your hips, and the position at the top, okay? So I'm gonna break them 3 bits down, okay? I've got a timer on my watch here. I'm gonna try and keep it short and sweet so I don't bore you to death. But hopefully some of the points will resonate with you and you'll take something away to use in your sessions in the coming weeks, okay? So when it comes to the kettlebell swing, okay, first thing we want to think about is our setup, all right? So I always say the setup is always the first rep. If you've got a shit setup in anything you do, any kind of movement, then odds are the set as a whole is going to be pretty bad, okay? You're not going to be in a good kind of flow. So when we set up with the swing, okay, what I want you to think about doing is standing over the bell and creating like a little triangle with your feet, okay? So the kettlebell will be the tip of the triangle. So what we're going to do from here is to step back to there. Foot position just wants to be outside hip width, all right? So from here, the way we're going to set up always is we hinge back into the hips, shoulders will be above your hips, and then from here, we take a nice grip and we angle the kettlebell at about 45 degrees, okay? Shoulders pull back, and that's our start position, okay? That's always the way we start. I know some people kind of, in the past, start from their hips, or they just kind of buck it off and keep going from there. That's the way I want it done every single time. Okay, so once we've got that glued in, okay, write that down if you do have a notepad handy. Just make sure that that is the way you always set up. Second point is going to be the hips, okay? A lot of people when they do the swing, they make the mistake of they either squat and they raise their arms up like this, which isn't really doing anything, okay? And it's probably a fact that your kettlebell is too light, okay? So we always want to make sure that the swing, the power and the momentum comes from our butt cheeks, our glutes, okay, and basically our lower region, okay? The arms are just a connection to the kettlebell. They don't really do much apart from really grip and create tension in our upper back, all right? So what I mean by that is, so I want you to imagine your body is the bow when it comes to like a bow and arrow, okay? So as you pull the bow back, you create energy, and then obviously the further back you pull the bow, the further the arrow is gonna go. So you want to think about the kettlebell being our arrow, and we want our body to be the bow. So the more deeper hinge that we can create, the further that bell could potentially go if we let go of it. And that's what I want you to think about is, if I were to let go of the kettlebell when I thrust my hips, how far is it going to go, okay? I'll show you for example. So doing it wrong would look like this. Okay, so you can see here, if I was to let go of the kettlebell, it's probably just going to go bloop and just drop on the floor, okay? Compared to okay, so you can see the difference there, okay? Completely different between how much power I'm giving from my hips, okay? And how far that kettlebell could potentially go if I was to let go of it, okay? It's a good test to do if you're doing your workouts outside on grass. Let go of the kettlebell, see how far it goes, okay? So, again, that's just to really make sure that we're propelling our hips forward, we're snapping, we're squeezing everything here to get as much power as we can to make the exercise as efficient as we can as well. Okay, so that's to make sure you're using your hips. Again, I'm gonna make this as brief as I can, okay? And obviously, keeps it a breath a little bit as well. So, last thing on the swing is going to be the top position. So this is something people get wrong quite a lot, okay? And the reason there's going to be a lot of core movements in the the program itself. And also if you look at the kettlebell manual, it'll show you prerequisites with your core, like what should be able to do before you do any kettlebell movements. And you'll see a plank is top of the list. So when you do a plank on your elbows, you're really thinking about keeping your butt tight, you're keeping your core engaged, your lats are engaged, you're breathing, everything's rigid, but you're in this kind of position here. And that's the position you want to be in at the top of your swing, okay? So whenever you thrust the hips, you're not overextending, so you're not ending up like this. We're standing tall in a standing plank, okay? So that's really what I want you to think about at the top of every single swing, okay? And it's also good to record yourself from the side to make sure that everything's looking sweet, okay? So, just show you for example, again, what I don't want you to do and how I want it to look. So, if we set up from here, I'll do the wrong one first. Okay, so as you can see from there, looks pretty ugly, looks a bit awkward, yeah? You'll see this, if I was to say stand up tall, I'm not probably gonna do this. I'm gonna stand up here, nice and tall, yeah, like I stand to attention, all right? So when I do it right, you've probably seen it in the previous reps I did anyway, but from here, I'm squeezing my glutes at the top, and I'm making sure I don't overextend my lower back. I'm snapping the knees back and I'm standing tall. Okay, so my shoulders are down, my chest is out, I'm breathing, okay? So, hopefully that makes sense, okay? 3 things just to recap. Your start position, generating all the power from the swing from the hips, and your top position, standing plank, okay? And that's why in between some of the main sets today, I've got you doing planks in between, just to really activate your hips, your core, and recreate that at the top of the swing, okay? Cool.